Hey, listening lefties, it's Everybody Knows with Dr. Bob Fitrakis and Dan O'Dugan.
Everybody knows that the dice are loaded. Everybody rolls with their fingers crossed. Everybody knows the war is over. Everybody knows the good guys lost. Everybody knows the fight was fixed. The poor stay poor, the rich get rich. That's how it goes. Everybody knows.
Hey, everybody, it's Everybody Knows with Dr. Bob Fitrakis and Dan O'Dugan on WGRN and WCRS. You find GRN on the dial at 91.9. CRS 92.7 and 98.3. And of course, you can find us conveniently online if you wish to listen to this new program, the second edition. And tonight we're going to be treated to a bit of a classroom, such as Dr. Bob taught for many, many years at Columbus State. He taught for 34 years there. I think he taught at least 10 years the class Popular Culture. And since this is primarily a music show, that's the kind of culture we're talking about. Basically rock and roll from the beginning. Dr. Bob, I am your willing student at this point. Fill us in.
All right. I don't know if I had too many willing students. But
sure
really, we're looking at...
I'm told you were very popular.
We're looking at sort of what happened to give us rock and roll, you know, sort of the birth of rock and roll. I know it's a topic close to you as someone who is in the music business.
Indeed.
When we're looking at what's going on, we go really, we can go back to the crooners, and because it was much different.
Yeah.
You know how it was different at that point.
Like in the 30s and 40s and the early 50s, right, Bob?
Yeah, correct. Because a lot of people actually put the birth of rock and roll in 1951, and you're familiar with this.
Early. Yeah.
Yeah, Jackie Brenston.
Right, yeah. That song, Rocket 88, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, Rocket 88. And, of course, on guitar with the rock riff was...
Ike Turner?
Ike Turner.
Bing! All right, I get a point for that one.
Who we don't endorse any of his subsequent beating up of his wife.
He got turned into a bad man. Success can ruin some people. But he was a great musician. He was a great arranger. And didn't he help write this song, as a matter of fact?
He did, indeed.
So, are we spinning that tune then? And then
yes.
a couple after it? Is that how we're going to
We will.
rock in?
And what's coming together here, people need to think about it, is sort of the rise of race music, sometimes later called rhythm and blues.
Sure.
But race music and also
And that
hillbilly,
goes all the way back in the 20s, right?
and also hillbilly music.
So it comes together in rock and roll.
And a lot of that, throw that with a little evangelical Southern black and white music.
Why not?
And you've got rock and roll.
All right, let's get it kicking with Rocket 88.
Women have heard of jalopies, you've heard the noise they make, but let me introduce my new Rocket 88. Yes, it's straight, just one way. Everybody likes my Rocket 88. Baby, we'll ride in style, moving all along. And is smart and designed, black convertible top, and the gals don't mind. Sporting with me, riding all around town for joy. Blow your horn, Raymond, blow. in my rocket and don't be late, baby. We're pulling out about 8:30. Going round the corner and get a fifth. Everybody in my car's gonna take a little nip. Move on out, oozing and cruising along.
Hey! bum, got a gal named Daisy. She almost drive me crazy. Got a gal named Daisy. She almost drive me crazy. She knows how to love me, yes indeed. Boy, you don't know what she do to me, to the booty, oh Rudy, 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 oh wop bop loo bop lop bam boom.
You're listening to Dr. Bob and Dano on Everybody Knows.
So what do we know?
Well, we know there was race music because of the racism embedded in the United States.
Absolutely.
As there was segregation in the record charts.
Right.
So someone like Big Mama Thornton could have a #1 hit that had rock and roll influence, like Ain't Nothing But a Hound Dog, and that was in 52. And 4 years later, Elvis can sort of invent rock and roll, so to speak. And that's the wrong analysis, by singing the same song. Elvis
Right.
sang about a hound dog. Big Mama Thornton sang about a man who was dogging her out.
Right.
But unless you were black or listening to the black music and the
You
black
didn't get it.
charts, you
Yeah.
didn't get it.
Right. Yep, indeed.
So they were the pioneers, them, and in some ways, in terms of rock and roll performance,
Right. Well,
Came-
then you had people like Little Richard. Who started out as a drag performer when he was like 12 or 13 years old and brought that flamboyance. He was never out. He never came out as a homosexual, but his performance definitely gave rise to that ability to put on that flamboyant performance in those times. You know, those conservative times of the 50s.
Absolutely. The rise of radio, particularly car radio, and later in the late 50s, early 60s, the rise of portable transistor radios.
Dig that, Daddy-O.
Right, and the biggest daddy-o of them all was Alan Freed in that period.
Yeah.
In,
Up in Cleveland.
Yeah, coining the term rock and roll, popularizing it. Mm-hmm. And of course,
And then he went down, right? For the,
he did. In the Paola scandal.
Right.
But he also was involved in some of the early rock and roll movies.
Oh, yeah, sure he was. But he got found guilty for the payola thing. But in fact, Dick Clark just cut out the middleman because Dick owned the record label, so therefore he didn't have to pay himself to play that on his show, and and on his radio show and on his television show. He cut out the middleman, and he got away with it.
But-
that which Alan Freed went down for, right? Or up the river, as it were.
But in the long run, the guy who ended up on top was Alan Freed because of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame was put in Cleveland.
Yeah, that's
in
true.
part because of his historical presence.
I was up there and I got to see a little blip from one of my heroes when I was a kid back in Pittsburgh. They had Whammo, WAMO, and the guy was Porky Chadwick. He was the cool boss with the hot apple sauce, the platypus papa, your daddy-o of the radio, Porky Chadwick. Oh, it was great. Gives me chills, I'm telling you, man. So, yeah, that kind of cool stuff, those DJs. They were
All
important.
right.
They were
And a lot
important.
of that
They were very
stuff
important.
not only came from the black record charts, but also some of it came from what was called hillbilly music at the time.
Yeah.
Now we call it Appalachian music,
Yep. Or old-timey.
but that came out of Sun Records, right, which had Johnny Cash, Roy Orbison, Carl Perkins, Charlie Pride, Jerry Lee Lewis, Elvis Presley, all on the same small label.
Yeah, no kidding, man. It's incredible. So if you're down that way and you get a chance to stop in at Sun Records, there's still a nice little museum there. Last time we were there, there was a restaurant. You can get a hamburger.
Yeah, so rock and roll comes out of Memphis, comes out of the South, influenced heavily by the black population, mixing with rhythm and blues. And then it spills over into white teenage culture, scaring the hell out of the parents and society. And
Amen. Hallelujah.
And what do they try to do? Well, Elvis gets drafted. And he did a movie called The GI Blues, and he had the GI Blues after that because he was never quite the same.
They tried to kind of straighten out his image, right?
Straighten him out, and they brought in some new singers who were really white and couldn't sing very well. Bobby Darin,
Right. Those items, right. Sure.
Bobby Rydell,
A lot of bobbies.
a lot of
Mostly
Bobbies.
Italian kids. Fabian, Italian kids out of Philly.
Fabian, I think, was one of the
Right.
worst.
Yeah, there you go.
So with rock being neutered, so to speak, Americanized towards the mainstream, as opposed to being the funky type of music that was developing independently throughout the South and elsewhere. And it was influencing sort of the interracial nature of society, which was also tremendously scary.
Well, that whole folk scene was more liberal, right?
Right,
And that
that's
kinda-
where the liberals kind of fed,
Right.
and that's where Bobby Zimmerman came
Of
from.
course, and the songwriters came out of that. Yeah.
And Bobby Zimmerman, of course, being
Oh, Mr. Dylan.
Bob Dylan. Yeah.
Hey, we get it. And then we
And then they sang about stuff that included drugs.
ooh my, like Puff the Magic Dragon.
And what was that puff about?
All right, here we got Puff, Peter, Paul, and Mary.
Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Little Jackie Paper loved that rascal Puff and brought him strings and sealing wax and other fancy stuff. Oh, Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Together they would travel on a boat with billowed sail. Jackie kept a lookout perched on Puff's gigantic tail. Noble kings and princes would bow whene'er they came. Pirate ships would lower their flags when Puff roared out his name. Oh, Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. A dragon lives forever, but not so little boys. Painted wings and giant's rings make way for other toys. One gray night it happened, Jackie Paper came no more. And Puff, that mighty dragon, he ceased his fearless roar. His head was bent in sorrow, green scales fell like rain. Puff no longer went to play along the cherry lane. Without his lifelong friend, Puff could not be brave. So Puff, that mighty dragon, sadly slipped into his cave. Oh, Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu.
The night we met, I knew I needed you so. And if I had the chance, I'd never let you go.
might miss lonely, but you know you only used to get juiced in it. Nobody's ever taught you how to live out on the street, and now you're gonna have to get used to it. You say you never compromise with a mystery tramp, but now you realize he's not selling any alibis as you stare into the vacuum of his eyes and say, do you want to make a deal? How does it feel? How does it feel to be on your own with no direction home? A complete unknown, like a rolling stone. Oh, you never turned around to see the frowns on the jugglers and the clowns when they all did tricks for you. Never understood that it ain't no good. You shouldn't let other people get your kicks for you. You used to ride on a chrome horse with your diplomat, who carried on his shoulder a Siamese cat. Ain't it hard when you discover that he really wasn't where it's at? After he took from you everything he could steal. How does it feel? How does it feel to have you on your own with no direction home, like a complete unknown, like a rolling stone? Ah, princess on the steeple and all the pretty people, they all drinking, thinking that they got it made, exchanging all precious gifts. But you better take a diamond ring, you better pawn it, babe. You used to be so amused at Napoleon and rags and the language that he used. Go to him now, he calls you, you can't refuse. When you ain't got nothing, you got nothing to lose. You're invisible now, you got no secrets to conceal. How does it feel? Ah, how does it feel to be on your own with no direction home, like a complete unknown, like a rolling stone?
So we just listened to Puff the Magic Dragon by Peter, Paul, and Mary, and then followed by Be My Baby by the Ronettes, which the girl group sound, Phil Spector being the height of that, to me is the height of Western civilization, particularly, later on when Scorsese uses it in the movie Goodfellas. To me, that there's that scene when they go through the back kitchen in the fancy restaurant, go right out to the jazz club. the table's brought up, the whole bit, the whole 9 yards. Again, with that girl group music, that whole thing, it just seems to me like that's it. That's where, well, I don't think we get any better, but, there's all the 60s and 70s.
Well, they tried
to go, and we'll get there,
restrain it a little and make it real sweet.
Yeah,
but
the girl group
there was
thing,
some tremendous stuff, particularly like
absolutely.
Ronnie there of Ronnie and the Ronettes.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, a heartthrob to many in the society.
And then we followed from those wonderful vocals to good old Bob Dylan.
Yes, and what is happening over in folk? So folks moving away from drugs, the psychedelic music is beginning to rise up by the mid-'60s to replace the folkies doing stuff like Puff. But now what you're going to get is you're going to get Dylan going electric.
Uh-oh.
Very controversial historical point.
Pete Seeger, go get the axe.
Instead of just being a folkie and talking about the common man and peace songs.
Well, he still was. But he was doing it electric. How dare he?
He was doing it like rock and roll.
Yeah, no kidding.
I mean, that's what he got in trouble for, getting rid of traditional folk and being a rock and roll star.
Absolutely. And speaking of rock and roll and music,
you're listening to WGRN 91.9 FM. Also WCRS 92.7 and 98.3.
And this is Everybody Knows. Oh,
and
sorry, Bob.
We're also streaming at WGRN.org. All right. But the rise of drugs within the culture was captured by the rock and roll artist in this period, probably White Rabbit being the most famous psychedelic sound.
Yeah, and it's from that album that we talked about in the first show, the Surrealistic Pillow. And that 67, and that when psychedelics first began to really influence the music, like Sgt. Pepper's and 8 Miles High, etc. So
and Itchy Coo Park, one of my personal favorites.
So here we
What will you do there, Dan?
We got White Rabbit hopping at you.
We'll get high. What will we touch there?
The sky.
One pill makes you larger and one pill makes you small, and the ones that mother gives you don't do anything at all. Go ask Alice when she's 10 feet tall. And if you go chasing rabbits and you know you're going to fall, tell 'em a hookah smoking caterpillar has given you the call. Call Alice when she was just small. When the man on the chessboard get up and tell you where to go, and you just had some kind of mushroom, and your
under my thumb. The girl who once had me down under my thumb. The girl who once pushed me around is down to me. The difference in the clothes she wears down to me. The change has come, she's under my thumb. There ain't it the truth though? Under my thumb is a squirmy dog who's just had her day. Under my thumb, a girl who has just changed her ways. It's down to me. Yes, it is the way she does just what she's told down to me. The change has come, she's under my thumb. See, it's alright. Under my thumb, Siamese cat of a girl. Under my thumb, she's the sweetest pet in the world. It's down to me. The way she talks when she's spoken to down to me. The change has come, she's under my thumb. Take it easy, baby. It's down to me. Oh yeah, the way she talks when she's spoken to down to me. The change has come. She's under my thumb. Yeah, it's alright. Under my thumb, her eyes are just kept to herself. Under my thumb, well, I can't still look at someone else. It's down to me. Oh, that's what I say. The way she talks when she's spoken to down to me. The change has come. She's under my thumb. Say it's alright. It's alright. Say it's alright. Easy, baby. Take it easy, baby. It's alright.
course, came the British invasion.
Here we go. Gov.
And that gave us, of course, the Beatles and the Stones and the Who and
The Dave Clark
Kings.
Five.
And I was a big
The
Dave,
Herman's
Dave
Hermits.
Clark Five fan.
Yes.
But
the Animals.
the question that arises is what values came with that? You've got the drug invasion,
Yes.
which we spoke about, but also
Fashion.
the question of being under my thumb. Was rock and roll being too sexist?
You could say that. Say it again, as a matter of fact.
Rock and roll was thought of as misogynist and sexist to some.
Yeah, indeed. I'm not going to argue with that, particularly if you see, the lifestyle of the big British rock bands and their backstage antics. The head for backstage pass.
But activists seized on the rock music scene, seized the moment, so to speak.
Yeah.
And the Motown joined with them with Ball of Confusion when Motown begins
Things
to...
evolved, that's for sure.
Sure,
yeah.
it sure did.
And things become more confrontational at some point in time. But for right now, what we were just spinning was Under My Thumb and Waiting for My Man. The Velvet Underground was quite a scene there, and you were just...
really expanding the whole concept of songs about drugs, about heroin,
and also
about
this-
waiting for your drug dealer.
Well, there you go. But also just that they created their own scene, didn't they? I mean, the Andy Warhol and the Factory and whatever came out of that. It was
they merged
more than
into-
just a band. It was like right? Wasn't it?
Yeah,
like-
they merged into pop culture.
Right, exactly.
And
Sure.
now the Velvet Underground is being managed by the leading artist in America.
Right, I guess. Yeah, you could say that.
You can make that argument.
Sure enough.
You're listening to WGRN 91.9 FM or WCRS 92.7 or 98.3. Also, you're listening to WGRN.org.
Yes, and the show's called Everybody Knows. And what we do know
With
is
Dano.
the music, Dr. Bob, got a little more confrontational. The anti-war activists and that activity came into the music, correct?
Correct. The use of rock and roll to resist the dominant culture in society,
Yeah.
to resist their
Amen.
parents and to resist the Vietnam War
Word.
and the racism that led to the riots, 65 in Watts, 67 in Detroit
Yes,
and
sir.
Newark.
Yes, sir. And it went on and on. And so, and then again, like we said, that began to be reflected in the music with songs like Ball of Confusion. And Motown had not been very confrontational at that point at all. But even lots of other bands, like we're going to play Creedence Clearwater Revival and Fortunate Son here in a second. That was a band that definitely
Anti-war
grabbed
rock
that,
and roll.
Yes, and there's no song greater anti-war statement than the song we finish Everybody Knows with this week. It's by Black Sabbath. We used it previously on our other show, Bob, and it's called War Pigs.
Some folks are born made to wave the flag. Ooh, they're red, white, and blue. And when the band plays hail to the chief, ooh, they're
started screaming, run, 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 but you sure can't hide. And eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, both for me, and I'll set you free. Rap on, brother, rap on. Well, the only person talking about love, man, brother, is the preacher. And it seems nobody's interested in learning but the teacher. Segregation, determination, demonstration, integration, aggravation, humiliation, aggravation to my nation. That's what the world is today. The sale of pills are at an all-time high. Young folks walking around with their heads in the sky. Cities aflame in the summertime. The beat goes on. Evolution, revolution, gun control the sound of soul. Shooting rockets to the moon, kids growing up too soon. Politicians say more taxes will solve everything. And the band played on. Where the world's headed, nobody knows. Say, ooga booga, can't you hear me talking to you? Just a ball of the future. In the air, tension everywhere. Unemployment rising fast, the Beatles' new records of gas. And the only safe place to live is on an Indian reservation. And the band played on. Eve of destruction, tax deduction. City inspectors, bill collectors. Hard growing demand, population out of hand. Suicide, too many bills, hippies moving to the hill. People all over the world are shouting in the war. And the band played on. Can't you hear me talking to you? It's a ball of the future. That's what the world is today. Yeah. Let me hear, let me hear, let me hear. Say a ball of the future. That's what the world is today. Let me hear, let me hear, let me hear, let me hear, let me hear. Say a ball of the future. Gathered in their masses, just like witches at black masses. Evil minds that plot destruction, sorcerer of death's construction. In the fields of bodies burning, as the war machine keeps turning. Death and hatred to mankind, poisoning their brainwashed minds. Oh Lord, yeah. Darkness world stops turning, ashes where the body's burning. No more war pigs have the power, and as God has struck the hour, day of judgment God is calling. Underneath the war pigs crawling, begging mercies for the sins. Satan laughing spreads his wings.
Everybody knows. Everybody knows. That's how it goes.
Everybody knows because they listen to Dan O'Dugan and Dr. Bob Fitrakis on Everybody Knows.
Everybody knows. Everybody knows.